God gave us the book of Nehemiah for our team, and we were reading through it a chapter at a day and talking about it.
It was about the third day. We got to chapter 3, and we saw that Nehemiah was writing about how each person had their specific thing, their specific part of the wall to build.
And he goes on, name. And Kevin was like, what are we going to get out of this chapter? But that was one of the most meaningful chapters for me that stuck with me, because I saw that it wasn't just one person that built the wall. It was this long list of names that you'd never heard of that built sections of the wall. And they were faithful to build their section of the wall, and that's what they were called to and obedient to.
We go to a bookstore, and many people come to sit down and to talk with us and just to practice their English, really. And so while we were there, I was sitting down with a young man, and his name was Lee. So he asked, what are you doing here? And I told him, well, we come here to help people in need, to show them love, and to show them our God. And he was really intrigued. Who is this God? What is he? And he goes, how do you believe in a God that you can't even see? And so we started talking about creation and about some of the things that we enjoy, like mountains and sunsets and these things. And he started to get even a little more excited. And he said, well, you know, I've always had this voice inside of me, this thought, these thoughts inside of me that I always wanted to do good things. I want to do good. I don't want to do things that are bad. And he goes, is that kind of like what your God is? And I said, well, yeah, I mean, it really is. And he said, well, I want to know more about this God. And I said, well, all you have to do really is ask. If you pray and you ask God, you know, who are you? I really want to know you. I said, God will reveal himself to you. And then he stopped. He said, can we pray right now? And I was like, yeah, of course we can. And so we just prayed, and he had this just moment of excitement, this look on his face like nothing I've ever seen. And he looked up and he goes, do you know, God just told me something. And I was like, wow. I mean, it surprised me, but it didn't surprise me. And I said, well, what did he say? And he said, well, God just told me, you know, I've been here the whole time. I've been with you the whole time, and you just didn't know it was me.
The Loy people are people that came to Thailand from Burma seeking work, and so they mostly work in the strawberry fields. Their language is so different that they asked Wycliffe to come in, and they couldn't find any cousin languages or relative languages to it. And as far as we know, there's about 14,000 of them, and that none of them are Christian as of yet. And so our contact had started a kids club for the past 3 months with the Loy children. And every Saturday morning we go there and share a Bible story, do a craft or a game, and just hang out with them and love on them. And at the end of the story, I asked them, does anyone feel like God, that they're lost and that God's searching for them? And they all said, yes, or chai, our church translator means yes. The second Saturday that we went, we were a lot more comfortable because we had more time to get to know them and interact, and saw some of the same kids coming back, which was really fun. And we shared the story of the prodigal son. And at the end of that, we had asked questions of like, do you feel that you have gone away from God and you want to come back? Do you want to be adopted back?
And many of them responded and raised their hands and said yes. And then at the end, one of the children told our host that God was his friend, and he had a big smile on his face.
So here we were with a group of kids who have never had a known believer in their people group, and when we started asking them questions about if God was seeking for them and if they wanted to know God, they all raised their hand, and it was really exciting and encouraging to me to know that even though we were only there for a brief time, we could still make a difference in their lives.
We got to see the start of softening of hearts and opening the hearts of the children to God and to Christ and to his love. And although there's no known believer, I think deep down in my heart that some of those children, even though we haven't talked to them, but they already know who God is and believe in him.